Welcome inside the Covelli Center in Columbus. 17th ranked Ohio State back at home for their dual meet with the 5th ranked Denver Pioneers. Women's gymnastics on Big Ten Plus. Neil Sika with 4-time All Big Ten gymnast Lexi Mattern here to have some fun. And the fans are ready to have some fun, Lexi. It's been 22 months since they've been allowed back in the building. Welcome to ready their Buckeyes home. Nearly pulled off the upset against top-ranked Arkansas last week. And now they've got a stern challenge ahead with Denver coming in. Just a few years ago, finished 4th at Nationals.
It's definitely exciting to be back here in the Covelli Center. I've been here once before, and now I'm super excited to see what this Buckeye team has to offer today. Thank you, Neil, for welcoming me in.
Yes, welcome to the booth. And you have the nerves of the first meet of the season, but now coming back, knowing that you were inch close, if you're Ohio State, to pulling off that upset and now want a good performance against a very good team in Denver.
Yes, this Buckeye team's very special. They were able to go in and go toe-to-toe with Arkansas last week and just missed it by a hair. And this Denver team is definitely going to be one to compete with. Denver is notorious for having a high level of competitive nature, and this Buckeye team, I think, can pull off a win today if they bring their A game.
Well, they are starting 3 straight at home at the Covelli Center. They'll get into Big Ten play next weekend with Penn State, Rutgers to follow at the end of the month. But one thing we know about Meredith Pulisiewicz, she doesn't duck anybody. Her teams don't duck anybody when it comes to the competition, and they're right back into the thick of things, wanting to clean a few things up.
Yes.
From last week, there she is, 5th-year head coach who just earned a new contract extension.
That she did.
Going through 2025. Starred for the Red Rocks of Utah back in the early 90s. Her teams have made the last 4 NCAA tournaments.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this team progresses under Meredith's leadership. She definitely has the experience to be a great head coach, and she's proven that thus far. So I think once she gets a whole bunch of kids in here that are recruited by her and her coaching staff, they are going to take off, and she will be a force to be reckoned with.
You competed against Denver a couple of times in your career. What makes them so tough when it comes to their routines and their success over the last decade and really the 24 years under Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt?
I would say that Denver eats competitive nature for breakfast. They don't let any small mistakes hold them back. Even big mistakes, they are ready to rumble at all times. They're just great athletes, and they're going to prove it every opportunity they get.
They've come off their very first Big 12 championship back last spring. Last in the Nationals in 2019, where they finished 4th. Final warm-ups being conducted here at the 3-year-old home of Ohio State women's gymnastics.
Still seems brand new, Neil.
It does. And it was nice to see the alumni. They were honored prior to the start of today's meet. And more impressively, the class of 2020 that didn't have a senior day recognized in front of the home fans.
Absolutely. I think that it's great that the coaching staff decided to take that opportunity to acknowledge them because it was taken away from them so quickly. And I think it's great that the alumni come back in order to support the program. And it's truly a testament to the team that Meredith is putting together and just giving back and having the bond with all the athletes both in and outside the gym.
Saw Colby Miller with a test run on the vault, and she is key, but also a question mark because she's nursing an ankle injury.
Yes. It'll be very exciting to see her, but also good play by the coaches if she sits this one out for in-conference play in the weeks to come.
We're getting ready to go here at the Covelli Center. A reminder of the rules in women's gymnastics with the 4 rotations, 6 competitors. You take the top 5 scores. Ohio State, the 195 0-2-5. Just a smidgen behind Arkansas in that opener. A 197 for Denver. They opened at home against San Jose State. And very strong on bars and floor to take their opening meet of the season.
Denver can definitely put up the big scores here, but early in the season you really can see anything happen. Anyone can shine, and Ohio State can be on their A game and pull this out, need be.
When you started a season and then had your first, say, big meet on the road, you come back, and there's always the nerves and excitement of the first meet of the year. What progressions were you looking to make individually heading into your second meet of the season?
It's definitely more mental as an athlete. You've gone and done all of the big things at this point, and now you're ready to settle in and just do what you train to do every week, every day inside the gym.
We are ready to settle in. Ohio State will begin on the vault. Denver to begin on the bars.
Vault's come a long way for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
It's one of the events you shined in your career. There's the order for Denver. 3 that will compete in the all-around.
Beautiful start to this routine here. She looks calm and in control. She has good lines and handstands. Saw the coach step in for safety there as she transitions back to the high bar. Finishing up her routine now. See this dismount. That was a great start for Denver. She stuck the landing there. It's a beautiful way to start off their meet.
Excellent from one of the super seniors, one of the 4 on this Denver roster, Alexandra Ruiz. 9.825 against San Jose State, and a strong beginning. Well, a little wrinkle in the rotation or the order for Ohio State, and the routine will begin for Colby Miller. She was a question mark.
Here she is. Not the vault she wanted to do, but still she had a good entry there. That will definitely be a score the Buckeyes want to drop here on that Yurchenko full.
She led off against Arkansas. Had a 9.8, very solid, but
definitely an unexpected performance from Colby there. She's one of the most seasoned athletes they have on the team.
And we saw the countless warm-up attempts,
yes,
making sure that ankle was ready prior to the start of today's meet. She felt confident enough in doing so, but would probably like to have that one back.
Absolutely. I mean, anything is possible in gymnastics. Good, bad, the ugly can happen at any time. So could have been the ankle, could have been one of those turns. But it'll be nice to see her get another shot at it in meets to come.
Well, Caitlin Grimes now on vault for Ohio State. Debuted down in Fayetteville. And the freshman from LaGrange, Illinois, 9.725 against the Gymbacks.
Also doing Yurchenko entry to a very nice Yurchenko full. She had a little hop forward on the landing there. It looks like her chest was down, but should be a solid score for the Buckeyes here to come back after a fall.
Follows up the 8.825 from Colby Miller. Rosie Casale, a sophomore from Charlotte, North Carolina.
She had beautiful bar changes there. She's back up on the high bar, gearing up for her dismount. Looks like that cast handstand was a little short there. Beautiful dismount there for her. Good landing. Solid routine for Denver.
One of the best in the Big 12. All Big 12 on the bars last spring. A 9-9 at the championships. And a solid road beginning for Denver on the bars. Sydney Jennings now for Ohio State.
Sydney has a huge vault here. Beautiful lines. Let's see what she puts out there today.
Can go anywhere from 3 to anchor in this event. 9.775 at Arkansas.
It's a huge vault for Sydney. She had a hop back there on the landing, but definitely an aggressive entry. That'll be a good score for the Buckeyes.
Grimes with a 9.55 and followed by Jennings.
Looks like the judges are really searching for perfection here.
Can you gauge the read of a judge, maybe from early in the season to later in the year, where you tend to have some more of your perfect tens and higher scores?
I have to say the judges tend to be pretty consistent what you put out there that day, but they are really looking at the end of the season for perfection.
Back to the bars for the Pioneers, Mia Sundstrom.
Great cast handstand there. Into her release. Great body positions as she transitions back to the low bar. She's in control. Looks very confident. That cast handstand was a little short. Let's see how she gears up for her dismount. Another clean routine for Denver. Beautiful landings. The team's fired up.
Casale had a 9.825, and Sundstrom is in that conversation.
That was a beautiful vault by Ohio State. It's their only 10-0 start value that they're going to have today, and she executed that beautifully. That 10-0 start really sets itself apart from the other vaults here that only start at a 9.95 for its difficulty, and she performed it very, very well. Coach Polisiewicz should be happy with that.
It's been quite the debut so far for Jenna Levak, the freshman from Baltimore. 9.8 against Arkansas. And an excellent vault, fourth in the order for the Buckeyes. Saw the excellent routine of Sundstrom coming back from an elbow injury a couple of years ago. Emily Glynn now to the bars for the Pioneers.
Tend to put your veteran athletes at the end of the lineup, the ones with the biggest routines, and have it build as you go. So I'm very interested to see what Denver still has in store for us.
Lexi Edwards, who took the vault against Arkansas, 9.875 of the opening weekend.
Yeah, she was named one of the Big Ten gymnasts to watch this season as well, and part of that is due to this huge vault that we're going to see her do. She's known for her vaulting. She's an incredible athlete. Coach Polisiewicz said that she embodies every part of what this program is becoming. She's an amazing teammate, a strong leader in and out of the gym. She's a great student athlete, and definitely we are on the cusp of seeing how great she can be.
Got that knee brace you saw moments ago.
Yes.
On her left knee. How tough is it to compete with that?
Well, it's hard for anyone. It's, it's an extra extremity on your body at this point, but, you get used to it.
Didn't phase her in the opening weekend.
No.
Won a couple of individual titles on vaults.
Beautiful cast handstand here into a Ginger. Beautiful lines here, good connections. I'm struggling to find any details that she may have missed. It's looking very strong.
Glynn tied for third last
Full
week.
in dismount here. A little low on her landing, but she pulled it out.
9.875 against San Jose State. All Big 12 in the vaults last season.
That was an incredible Yurchenko full by Lexi Edwards. That is probably one of the best you'll see in the NCAA. She has an amazing entry, tight body lines, a good block. You saw her do a full twist before she hit the ground and fully extend her arms. She knew exactly where the ground is. That is as close to textbook as you will see.
Another look. The junior from Richmond, Virginia.
Great landing, too. She should be very proud of herself for putting that out there. Strong competitor.
2 straight weeks of great vaulting from Lexi Edwards. Riley Mundell getting ready to take on the bars. She's one of 3 all-arounders for Denver. They went 16-6 last year en route to the Big 12 title. They put up a 197.35.
197s are hard, Neil. It means that there's very little, very, very little wrong in anything that they do. Wonderful, wonderful start here. Beautiful Tkachev into another cast handstand. Beautiful overshoot. Her legs are glued together in these skills. That's what you're looking for. Another double layout dismount, stuck landing. This is an incredible bar lineup by Denver.
She had a 9-9 against San Jose State. Might be pretty darn close.
I would be surprised if she doesn't get another one for that routine. Raina Malice with a beautiful Yurchenko full. Very clean landing, small hop back. Those last 2 vaults for Ohio State were beautiful. Definitely what they wanted to end that rotation with.
The junior making her season debut on vaults. I feel she's confident she can go 9-9 on her best day, and wrapping up the first rotation here for the Buckeyes.
Definitely not the way they wanted to start off their rotation, Neil, but I truly believe that they'll be able to bounce back. They had a good ending to that rotation. Lexi Edwards with that amazing vault. Raina Malice had an amazing vault as well. They're going to head into bars, I think, with their head held high, ready to continue the meet.
And they'll have to follow the 17-time All-American in Lindsey Brown. Another look at that last vault from Malice, who debuts strongly for Ohio State.
Raina definitely could be a very strong vaulter for this Ohio State team.
From the Columbus suburbs of Dublin to Kaufman High Schools. Such a prolific career for the grad student from Raytown, Missouri.
Great release there up to the high bar. Back to the low bar she goes there. Oh, another strong release there for Lindsay. This is a very difficult routine to perform, and she executed it beautifully. Small hop on the landing, but a beautiful routine packed with difficulty. It's what the judges like to see.
9th in the nation. That's where she finished last year at Nationals. 9.825 on the opening weekend.
Didn't look like that hop was needed, but good landing nonetheless. Great way to finish out that rotation for Denver.
So the opening rotation in the books. Denver strong on the bars. Ohio State crescendo to finish well on vault. And rotation 2 is coming up next. Ohio State and Denver on Big Ten Plus.
Have I said anything bad yet?
You're great. You were excellent. No, right on it. Keep doing exactly what you're doing.
Thank you.
How am I sounding?
Good.
Back at the Covelli Center, Denver setting the tone early with a 49-1 on bars. And Ohio State 48-825 after the first rotation. Neil Sika, Lexi Mattern. And now the Buckeyes will move to the bars, and this was a rotation they struggled with last week at Arkansas, despite taking an individual title.
Yes, absolutely. It's definitely something that they wanted to improve upon coming into this meet. Meredith spoke with me earlier in the week about wanting to spread out their freshmen to give those experienced upperclassmen a chance to, you know, give confidence to the newbies coming into this lineup. It's definitely an event that they have depth on, but they need to give these freshmen some opportunities to do what they do best, and that's compete.
Colby Miller, who went first in the vault and nursing a bit of an ankle issue, went 9.875 on the bars at Arkansas to take the individual title. And Jim Bax getting by the Buckeyes in the slimmest of margins in the opening meet. Meanwhile, Denver had no trouble taking the opening meet of the season against San Jose State.
Denver with one of the highest opening scores we saw in NCAA gymnastics last week. They're looking to capitalize on that and keep the ball rolling. Ohio State looking to better their last week's score and keep improving.
Some tantalizing early season meets last night. Oklahoma and Utah. Utah edging out Oklahoma in front of a raucous crowd. Momoko Iwai making her Denver debut on the vault.
Very clean vault from Denver to open up their vaulting rotation here. Little hop back on her landing, but definitely a great way to lead off the rotation.
Iwai, Japanese youth international, but grew up in Dallas, Texas. Zoe Schweitzer.
Beautiful cast handstand from Zoe here. You'll see her transition to the high bar. Good lines by Zoe. She struggled on this event last week, but this is a beautiful routine. Good body lines from Zoe here. Through to her dismount. Sticks the landing. Incredible comeback for Zoe here on this bar routine. The crowd is on their feet. She should be happy with that performance.
Quite the restitution for Zoe Schweitzer, the junior from Pittsburgh, with an 8.15 last week. But very strong, and congratulated by Meredith Polasiewicz, who said, "I trust her and don't anticipate that will be an issue again." Back to vault for Denver and Alexandra Ruiz.
Ruiz just did a beautiful Yurchenko full. Strong off the table. She had great body lines, hop back on the landing, but that should be a strong score for Denver. There it is again for you. She saw that little hop back on the landing right before she salutes the judges, but overall very clean lines, very little execution errors.
Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt calls Alexandra Ruiz the team's silent assassin. A 9-7 opening weekend.
Not a bad nickname to have.
The vault. No. What was your nickname?
I don't know if I had one. I think it was just my name. I'll have to ask Coach Polisiewicz at the end.
That's right. Of course, you were under her tutelage for your senior season in 2018.
That I was. It was a great year. Great year. It was our last year in St. John Arena.
This is a great building, but there's something about the nostalgia of that place that had to make it fun to compete there.
Oh, absolutely. Just knowing what was in that building before you, who and what, and all the excellence that was there. But
Jenna Levac to the bars.
She's an impressive freshman coming into this Buckeye team. She has wonderful gymnastics, as you're seeing now. She has a beautiful ginger into an overshoot. She is in control. She's confident. Definitely the kind of bar worker that you put in this lineup. That blind full into a double back. Beautiful stuck landing. Coach Monahan loves to see that. She should be very proud of herself.
Buckeyes very poised so far on the uneven bars through two. Jenna Levac continues to impress, this freshman with a lot of poise. 9.725.
Denver on the vault there just had another beautiful Yurchenko full. They look very strong, good entries. They have wonderful block off the table. That vault specifically had a hop back there, but overall you always want to hop backwards instead of forwards. Strong body lines, so Denver's off to a great start on vault.
Mia Sundstrom, 9.825 against San Jose State.
Denver's having fun out there. You see them dancing, enjoying their time. They're definitely coasting through this meet right now. It's not a bad place to be in. Ohio State looks focused, ready to come back from a not so great vault start, but bars has been wonderful for them thus far. Coach Polisiewicz said that she wanted to spread out her freshman class in this lineup and give the experienced upperclassmen an opportunity to give the younger ones experience, give them time and confidence going in, and I think it's working well thus far.
Keep the mood light.
Yes.
Let's see the updated team scores briefly. How tough is that to stay loose? You may perform well in the gym during the week, but to transition that over to meet day.
I think that has a lot to do with how prepared you feel. They look prepared. You see some of the girls on the sidelines now clapping, having a good time. Meredith is very good about that as well. She loves to have fun. We'll see Lexi here. No knee brace this time, Neil. Great cast handstand. You'll see her transition here after this toe shoot right to the high bar. Beautiful flight there on that release. Back to the low bar. She has tight lines. She's very confident swinging here. That's what you want to see. Blind full into her dismount here. Little hop on that landing, but her chest was up. That was a beautiful bar routine for Lexi Edwards.
She was great last weekend, 9.825. That was third amongst all the gymnasts.
Coach Polisiewicz said that she trains the all-around, so we may get to see her doing all of the events at some point in time. Denver on vault with a Souk full. It's a unique vault. You don't see a lot of those in NCAA gymnastics. It's a different entry. You see a lot of girls doing a round-off entry, going backwards onto the table, but this one she actually came in forward-facing and turned her body halfway before she started flipping. It was a beautifully executed vault. Good landing. It's nice to see the change up. We'll see this again.
All Big 12 on the vault for a reason. Emily Glynn.
Great vault for Emily, just that small hop back there.
There's 9.825 for the grad student. It was good for third against San Jose State in the opening week. Women's gymnastics season just getting underway.
These girls that have been on the team for a few years now, they know what it's like to come into these meets, going on the road, having to perform at a very high level. They are ready to go, and it must be nice for the underclassmen to be able to pick their brains and learn from them.
Alexis Hankins for Ohio State now on the bars.
Different mount to the high bar here. Little short on that cast handstand. Good body lines. We'll see her release here into a straddled Jaeger. Beautiful catch. Much better cast handstand there into her release to the low bar. Back up to the high bar. She gears up for her dismount. Good cast handstands. Good lines here. Let's see if she can stick this landing. Not quite a stick, but a small hop backwards. Great, great bar routine for the Buckeyes.
Junior from Omaha at 9.75 in week 1.
Wow, Yurchenko 1.5 from Denver here. That extra half twist makes it very difficult, Neil. It's a blind landing. You can't really see where you're going, so you have to trust your body and know that the floor is going to be there and that it's ready for you. And that was a great landing.
Riley Mundell went 9.85 on the bars and continues her all-around day with a good vault.
Getting ready to see Colby Miller here on the bars.
She took the title at Arkansas. 9.925 in the Sweet 16 last year. Finished 3rd overall at the regional final.
I would argue that this is one of Colby's best events. If she continues on the track that she's been on for the past couple of years and the way she started out last week at Arkansas, she definitely could become one of the best bar workers in the country.
One of the team leaders. And there are not a ton of seniors on this Ohio State roster.
No, she is just one of them here. One of the few. Strong but mighty.
Mason, Ohio veteran.
Meredith said they can count on her for consistency, clean lines, and a big dismount. This can be tough for an athlete, Neil, when the judges have to conference and you're stuck waiting for your turn. It can be a little bit of a mind game for them, but Colby's a seasoned veteran. She can handle it.
And you have the cumulative score of the 2 judges. The lingering idiosyncrasies that may come up unexpected during the course of a meet when you're ready to go and you have the adrenaline flowing. You have to play a factor, but it probably gets easier with the veteran poise if you've been around the block before, right?
Sometimes. Sometimes you're just so amped up and ready to go that, you just want to go and show the judges what you've been training all week and get out there. But I guess it's similar to football when they call a timeout when your team finally has momentum.
Colby Miller
keeping herself warm on the mats down there.
competed in vault.
Crowd's
Corners and
helping her
beam
out.
against Arkansas. It is great to see the atmosphere and the livelihood of the Covelli Center after a quiet 2021 without fans. There's still a policy within the arena at Ohio State, probably for the month of January, no food or beverage outside of water with the patrons. Still the deliberation with the judges.
Don't see this often in college gymnastics, but when you do, there's often a good reason.
What's the longest wait you can recall in a situation like this?
Big Ten championships. There was a camera malfunction and a judging conference. We waited for maybe 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Rare, but it happens. You do what you can, put on good music, stay loose and ready. The bars aren't going anywhere. Like I said, Colby is a seasoned veteran. She won the bar title at JO Nationals when she was in high school. This is her event.
'15th in the country after the first week of the season with that 9.875, and finally ready to resume.
Beautiful cast handstand to begin. Toe shoot up to the high bar, big release, good body lines. This is that consistency in the clean lines Meredith was talking about. She is a force to be reckoned with on this event. She's gearing up for a huge double layout dismount here. Absolutely beautiful. Small step on the landing there. Absolutely gorgeous. That's what you want after a weight like that. She's the veteran that she is for that reason.
The senior not fazed by the long layoff. Lindsey Brown anchoring the vault for Denver.
Wow. Another Yurchenko 1.5. She had a strong entry there. Good flight. Very clean lines. Little step on the dismount there, but overall that was an incredible vault. You don't see a lot of those 1.5s. But here she is performing it beautifully. Good landing. That smile on her face says it all.
Second against San Jose State with a 9.825. Such an accomplished gymnast, and the discussion with her going into this season, her coach Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt, said just want her to have fun. She's had a busy summer. She was on the Simone Biles tour. Just enjoy herself this senior year, because the team is set up for great success with all the veterans that they have.
Absolutely. A lot of these athletes, they want to have fun and to just be the best that they can. It can be stressful enough going to school full time that gymnastics really can be their safe haven. And competitive nature is in their bones.
It's the debut for freshman Stephanie Berger.
Beautiful start here. Beautiful release to the high bar. Back up to the high bar here. Good cast handstands. Those are requirements. They can get you for deductions if you're not hitting a perfect handstand, and that stuck dismount to land. Close it out for Ohio State. Her teammates are excited. That was a wonderful, wonderful debut.
Welcome to Columbus, Stephanie Berger. Four-time Junior Olympic participant and a former senior elite gymnast with a special anchor on the bars for the Buckeyes.
The coaches were very excited to have her anchor this event this week. They knew exactly what they were going to get with her routine. She is seasoned, ready to go, and I think that was an awesome way to start off her bar career at Ohio State. She should be very proud of herself moving forward.
Rotation 2 is in the books. 98.15 for Denver, 97.75 for Ohio State. We'll continue. It's women's gymnastics on Big Ten Plus. Welcome back to the Covelli Center. here at Ohio State. 91-85 through the first two rotations for the 5th ranked Pioneers of Denver. 17th ranked Ohio State, 97-9. Moving to the beam. Denver to where they flourish the floor, 4th in the country, into the 3rd rotation.
We're going to see some electric routines here from Denver. They have a reputation for being clean, consistent, and fun to watch. Good tumbling, good artistry. Then you have Ohio State on beam, who has completely overhauled their beam program. Coach Pavlovic mentioned to me earlier in the week that she completely redid how they train beam, and this could be one of their best events this season.
There is the 5th-year head coach. 2 seasons at Utah as an assistant, 1 at Arizona. And then just out of her college days, she was for 1 year at Berkeley, 2-time national champion, team member of Utah. And giving some last-minute beam instruction. 48-9 went the Buckeyes down at Barnhill. Very narrow margin.
The Buckeyes put on a strong performance last week against Arkansas, had a few mistakes that ended up being detrimental to pull off that win. We're going to see Zoe Schweitzer here starting off the rotation. Meredith was very confident in her abilities as a beam leadoff. See a front aerial into a beat jump. That connection is essential. Very hard skill. Back handspring layout, step out. Very clean landing for Zoe. She looks in control and confident. Beat jump into a ring jump. That is a very difficult skill to execute. You lose sight of the beam. Zoe performed it beautifully here. Full turn is a requirement for a beam routine. Seems like a simple skill, but it can attack you if you are not confident. Dismount here, side aerial into a tucked full to a stuck landing. That is an amazing way to start off the beam rotation for the Buckeyes. Coach Pavlovic should definitely be happy with that routine.
From a 9.825 on the opening weekend, and the consistency continues. Zoe Schweitzer, the junior from Pittsburgh. Getting Ohio State rolling on the beam. Out of the floor, Bella Mabanta. First off for Denver.
Denver's looking to continue their success they had in the past rotations. Opened up with a front tumbling pass there. Great clean lines. Amazing execution. That full turn again just happened in a wolf position down on the floor. A little bit more difficult, but again, a requirement to fulfill an artistry there.
The sophomore with a personal best against San Jose State, a 9.875 last weekend.
Definitely capturing the judges' attention there with her smile and her artistry. Oh, a switch half ring there. You don't see a lot of those. Denver has great execution and difficulty in their routines. Let's see how she finishes out. Front layout to a 1.5 twisting. Front layout as well. Amazing start for Denver. Very, very clean.
Sophomore from Frisco, Texas. And away Denver goes on the floor. 49-35 against San Jose State.
Interesting to see how the lineup will build. Usually save the biggest and brightest for the end. That was a very, very nice routine, so excited to see what they still have in store for us.
Colby Miller steps into beamer mode after the strong performance on bars. And the threshold for that ankle, it looks better maybe than we thought at first glance. I know Meredith Polisiewicz, you see chatting with her, wanted to make sure she was good to go because the Big Ten meets upcoming with Penn State and Rutgers in subsequent weeks are very valuable.
Absolutely, and Colby is one of the key competitors in these meets for the Buckeyes. Coach Polisiewicz wants to reserve her when she can and unleash her when she is ready. But Colby is strong and she is a fighter, and Meredith has the confidence in her that if Colby says she's ready to go, then she's going to do what she does best, and that's compete. Here in a minute, you'll see her get up on that beam, and she has her game face on, ready to go. You saw it last week against Arkansas, and she put up a beautiful routine.
9-8 against the Gymbacks.
Again, a little bit of a wait here for Colby before she starts her routine. This is unusual. It happens to the same person twice.
Next up on beat for Ohio State, Colby Miller.
9-8 or better 5 times in her junior campaign of 2021.
Beautiful display right off the bat of her flexibility here. Very aggressive even in her choreography, and that's what you want to see. She's going to attack this routine from the very beginning and show that level of confidence that it takes to be a senior. An unfortunate fall there for Colby. It looks like her foot slipped off the beam. The crowd's cheering her on here, trying to give her that level of confidence back that she had at the beginning of the routine. That full turn, that's a requirement, not a bobble. Beautiful hitch kick into a side aerial. Stays on the beam. It's hard to keep your composure, Neil, when you have a fall like that. But here she is doing the best that she can. Game face is still on. Keeping it together, not only for herself, but for her team, because everything counts. Good way to finish her routine. She should be proud of herself for finishing the way that she did.
So Miller responds after the fall. You brought that up. The mental capacity and perseverance to get back up after something like that occurs. And for a veteran like Miller.
Absolutely. It's one thing to fall, but to fall the way that she did can definitely be scary, even for a seasoned athlete. And you saw her take a second to shake it off and to get her head back into the game. And then she had a clean routine moving forward. So that's what Coach Polisiewicz wants to see from her beam competitors. It's very hard to get back up, and she did. It's a lot of beam left to do, so hopefully they can drop this score.
Not 100% with that ankle, Colby Miller. But giving it her all, and back to the floor. Alexandra Ruiz is up next for Denver. Alexis Hankins will come next on the beam for Ohio State. She's having her pre-routine conversation.
Denver's looking to continue their great start here with the next step. You can see her prepping, getting ready on the side of the floor here.
It's the first time in a competitive meet. These two schools have met since 2017. You were a junior, and it happened twice within a span of a month. You went out to Magnus Arena, and they came to Columbus.
Yes, that was a rather unusual meeting there, back-to-back with the same team, both dual meets, but it was fun. gymnastics is a small community, so you get to see people and friends often. So it was a nice treat that we got to see the same thing twice.
Speaking of friends, Lexi's rock star status continuing even after her stout gymnastics career. All the peers and teammates back for alumni weekend had to gather around and see you in your new digs.
Yes, it's really awesome to see my former teammates here, and we keep in touch. So it's very nice to see everyone in person, especially after the past few years we've had. No fans in the stands, but gymnastics is a big family, so it's nice to be surrounded by your extended family here.
And I asked you this before the meet got going today. The urge as a competitive gymnast to maybe, if the time allows, get back in and pull off a few routines in your professional days now, I would say. Does that strike you at any point?
If I would like to go back out on the floor and do gymnastics? You know, some days I wish I could. But you know what? I think I'm going to let the coaches and the gymnasts now handle it for the safety of everyone involved. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't try a couple of tricks and flips here or there.
Judges again are crossing T's and dotting I's. We've had a few delays mid-rotation.
This is, you know, a blessing in disguise for a lot of these athletes. Once you get into postseason, you're going to end up with meets where you're going to have a bye rotation. You're sitting for 15, 20 minutes doing absolutely nothing. So these athletes are getting a little taste of postseason, especially the freshmen that haven't had to deal with this yet. But they will be ready to go come postseason, and they'll know exactly what it's like, and it won't faze them. And I guess postseason when it really counts. So
that's a great point. Still very early days. Everyone getting in sync, not only the gymnasts, but the judges too. 9-8 or better 8 times last season for Alexandra Ruiz. Now on the floor.
Front tuck through to double back. Very clean landing. She knew exactly where she was. Big smiles. Teammates are dancing with her in the background there. She's having fun with this routine. Making eye contact with the judges there, showing them that she's not afraid.
The silent assassin, she's showing a bit of personality.
Fulfilling that leap requirement there. Hitting all the details. Their silent assassin, that she's definitely a seasoned veteran. Imagine graduating with that nickname. Double pike to close out the routine. Beautiful landing.
One of the 3 all-arounders today for the Pioneers. Excelling on the floor, Alexandra Ruiz.
She has to be happy with that routine.
And a hug from her coach. You saw 24 years at the helm, Melissa Kutcher-Reinhardt.
Looking at that double pike again. Her chest was a little low on the landing if you wanted to be nitpicky, but other than that, super clean.
Here's the junior Alexis Hankins.
You're going to see her personality come out in this beam routine here. Beautiful full turn. Again, that is a requirement that they have to do. Gearing up for a flight series here. Back handspring, layout, step out. Not a bobble in sight. Her confidence is on full display. Front toss through to beat jump. Great connection. Again, another one of those requirements to ensure that she has that 10-0 start value. Switch leap. Split jump quarter. To land sideways on the beam, that beam is only 4 inches wide. It's very difficult, and she executed it perfectly. She's gearing up for her dismount here to close out this amazing routine. Round off, double twist, stuck landing. She's fired up. Coach Paula Civic is happy. The team's there to congratulate her. Amazing way to come back after a fall from her previous teammate.
The Omaha native has improved a ton since she arrived on campus. No better example of that than this effort on the beam today.
I struggled to find something wrong with that beam routine, Neil.
She had a 9.8 against Arkansas and might have bested it just moments ago.
I would think so. My fingers are crossed for her.
Riley Mundell.
These athletes train for a really long time to gain the endurance and the confidence to put all these skills together in these floor routines. It's a full-out sprint for about 1.5 minutes. Stepped out of bounds there. You'll see the judge raise her arm, so there will be a deduction after her final score is raised. Have to stay within the bounds of the floor. Her leap pass there. Straight legs, pointed toes, exactly what you want to see. That balance of artistry and power. Looking to stay in bounds with this tumbling pass, front layout to a front full. Clean landing, in bounds that time.
A sophomore with unlimited ability, says her coach. A couple of 9.85s already through the first 2 rotations.
You can tell how strong of an athlete she is. She's having fun. She does not look fazed that this is a competition. Front 1.5 in a laid out position. She's having fun. Amazing floor routine for Denver. That is definitely a routine that they are going to want to put on replay.
The 9.775 against the Spartans.
I think she might have bested that one.
Riley Mundell, one of 3 all-arounders, along with Brown and Ruiz. Hannah Oliveros, sophomore from Streamwood, Illinois.
Hannah with an incredibly difficult mount to start off her routine, showing her level of control and execution early on. The judges must be happy to see that. Side aerial back handspring, incredibly difficult, Neil. She can see the beam the entire time and put her feet down right when she needs them to. Beautiful leaps. That 180 split, you have to hit that. Good connection. She is moving through this routine with grace. Front aerial, blind landing into a beat jump, displaying her artistry and her flexibility there.
Trying to improve upon the 9.6 from the opening weekend. She took a title last year against Michigan.
Side aerial to a laid out full, beautiful landing. Her teammates are so happy for her. She should be proud of herself, especially coming off an injury last season.
Progress evident for the sophomore in week 2.
You're gonna see her mount here again. She does a press handstand, showing that beautiful split here. Incredibly difficult. A lot of control is needed. Amazing way to start off that routine.
Another veteran with Emily Glynn. 9-7 on the floor in week 1.
Looks like she came to play. Starting off the routine here with a front tuck through to a double back. Clean landing, great height.
Was the level 10 Colorado champion in this event in 2015.
And it's showing. Beautiful leaps. She's hitting that 180. Difficult leaps here. Floor's a difficult event because you're bringing 100% of your energy for a long period of time. And once you get to the end, it's often to get tired, but she is not. Clean landing, beautiful, beautiful height in that double pike. Denver continuing to put out clean, consistent routines, and this is why they went 197 last week in their home opener.
Her coach calls her the unsung hero. Grad student from Longmont, Colorado.
Denver has a lot of strong veterans on their team, and they will be a force to be reckoned with, and they definitely set the standards for their freshmen coming in this year.
They returned 23 of the 24 routines from the postseason last year.
Ella's on the beam here. Coach Polisiewicz calls her Elegant Ella. And that is why. That was a standing switch leap into her jump combination. Very difficult. You don't see a lot of them. Her routine is unique. Into her flight series. Back handspring, layout, step out. She almost was off the beam there, but she kept her composure and her balance and didn't even wobble.
The individual title at Arkansas with a 9.875. A junior from Winchester, Massachusetts.
Gainer layout, step out, done beautifully. Dancing to the end of the beam here. Dismount here. Good job. Way to finish. Her foot actually slipped off the beam there on her dismount, but she pulled it out and had a very clean landing, just a small step backwards. That is a veteran athlete move right there. She didn't panic in the air. She stayed confident and somehow found the ground. Good for her.
3 individual titles in this event in the last two seasons.
You'll see her feet slip off the beam there. You can see it in her eyes right before that landing, but she was confident and she stayed up on her feet. Everything counts.
It's the sophomore Abby Thompson.
Abby starting off with a beautiful round off back handspring double pike. She had a lot of air, clean landing. That's what the judges are looking for, is the height on those tumbling passes. The higher you are, the better, but it also makes it harder to control your landings, and she did that very well.
How will she follow up a personal best from last weekend with a 9.925? That was good for seconds. Only to her teammate Lindsey Brown, who's the anchor.
Okay, front layout through to a front 1.5. A little bobble on the landing there, but still pretty clean. Having fun using her leg as a guitar there, playing up to the music. Another fantastic routine for Denver. They are putting out consistency, and that's what you want to see in collegiate gymnastics. You want to see 6 routines that are the best that they can do every week.
Thumbs up on the air guitar for this classic rock fan. And the sophomore from Sanford, Florida. With 5 now through on the floor for Denver. And Ohio State with Stephanie Berger on anchor on the beam.
And anchor is a tough spot to be in on the beam. You're waiting the most amount of time. Side aerial, beautiful landing here. Stephanie looks prepared. Getting ready for her flight series. Back handspring, layout, step out, beautiful landing. Her form in her gymnastics is absolutely beautiful to watch. That full turn, again, a requirement. She's working her way down the beam sideways. Switch leap into a split half. Leap into side aerial, lay it out, full stuck landing. That is an incredible way to end that beam rotation for Ohio State.
Not a
Freshman anchoring.
I was going to say, not a bad way for you to begin your Ohio State career. 2 rousing ovations, a 9.85 on the bars. And the freshman from Boston came off major hip surgery.
Yes. She is definitely a very strong athlete. To come back from an injury, something that could have ended her career, and she came back stronger, and she's ready to play. Nothing is holding her back.
Former elite gymnast ready to roll into a great Ohio State career.
Absolutely. It'll be great to see what she accomplishes in her 4 years at Ohio State.
Speaking of accomplishments, Lindsey Brown, hard to find what she hasn't accomplished. And this
Double
might be her
layout.
strongest event.
Double layouts are very hard. The aerodynamics to land that skill. She is having fun in this floor routine here. I'd expect nothing less from this athlete.
Last 9 on the floor in 2021, 9-9 or better, including a perfect 10 at the regional final in Athens, Georgia.
1.5 to front layout into a Sassone. Having jumps out of your tumbling passes can be very difficult. It requires a high level of control that she clearly has. A tuck Shushinova out of her leaps there. She is having fun. Her artistry level is very high. This is why she's their floor anchor. She's fun to watch. Her gymnastics is electrifying. Huge double pike, chest up on the landing is what you want to see. Very clean. She's very excited. I would say that's one of the best routines we've seen tonight.
The 2019 co-national champion on the floor, Lindsey Brown.
Denver has always had very strong athletes on floor. Every year they always have a number of girls that are incredible to watch on the floor, and they score very well.
Sydney Jennings with an exhibition here for Ohio State.
These exhibition routines give the athletes an opportunity to have their routine judged, but it doesn't count for the team's overall score. So it's just extra practice for the athletes. Sydney, a seasoned veteran for Ohio State here, just gaining some experience on the beam. Back handspring, through to a side aerial. Beautiful landing. These routines can be very important for the athletes moving forward as they might find themselves in the beam lineup, which is what they're working towards. Takes away the pressure of competition and having your routine count, but letting you get out there in a competitive leotard and do your best gymnastics, and that is exactly what she did.
So an exhibition for Jennings, and feels confident to close out on the beam for the Bucks. And we've hit the end of 3 rotations here in Columbus. 147.225 for Denver, 146.775 for Ohio State. And we'll come back with the final rotation, women's gymnastics on Big Ten Plus. There you see the numbers back at the Covelli Center. The 17th ranked Ohio State, 5th ranked Denver, heading to the 4th and final rotation. Pioneers with the edge. 2 individual titles from Lindsey Brown on the bars and the floor. 9.875 for Lexi Edwards on the vault. And Alexis Hankins, that stirring beam routine with a 9.825 as Ohio State moves to the floor and Denver to wrap up on the beam.
Floor for the Buckeyes in the past has been a little bit of a trouble spot for them. Coach Polisiewicz said that this is one of their most improved rotations. They're looking to capitalize off of a strong start last week, have some amazing choreography that Meredith does herself. She choreographs all the routines for the girls, and they all have a story that goes along with it. Have great tumbling that's executed really well with landings, their leaps, jumps, and just really hone in on those details. For Denver, they've always been consistent on beam. They are always a force to be reckoned with when it comes to ending a meet on a high note. So I'm expecting to see some amazing beam routines, difficulty, clean landings.
You really excelled at the floor and the vault. Finished 3rd at the Big Ten Championships in your career with Ohio State's upcoming event. But where did you get your creativity for your program and show?
It was a conversation between Coach Polisiewicz and I. We wanted to honor some influential women in the past and just have fun with it. We saw a kick over there to a back handspring, starting off beam with Lindsay here. Difficult skill to go from forward to backwards. Again, that blind landing on the kick over. Executed it very nice. You can see the confidence in her eyes going into that switch leap, hitting that 180 into a beautiful split jump. She's an incredible athlete.
Complementing that perfect 10 on the floor at the NCAA Regional with a perfect 10 on the beam last spring.
And you're seeing another fantastic performance by her right now. Very little to take off on. And again, a stuck landing. The judges are going to have a hard time finding anything wrong with that beam routine. She was clean, concise. She got on, did her job, and got off with a stuck landing.
Such a prolific junior season coming off an Achilles tear for Lindsey Brown. She's gone 9.825 on the vault, 9.85 on the bars, 9.9 on the floor. And another strong score upcoming to wrap up her day on the beam. Ohio State and Savannah Gonzalez.
This is our first time seeing Savannah today. Going to start off her floor tumbling here with a round off back handspring, double pike, huge height you saw there, clean landing, just kept her foot in bounds there. Those white lines on that blue mat help the judges make sure that she is staying inside the bounds of the floor. Front layout to front full, in control. Again, those clean lines, we keep talking about that because it is essential to having a big score. You want to keep a straight line all the way from your shoulders to your toes, and a lot of these athletes are doing a very good job at that today.
And those mats are for extra padding, correct?
Yes. They're used to just help your body stay safe when you're kind of falling out of the air there, just in case.
A sophomore from Indio, California, working on improving the 9.35 on the floor last week.
Yeah, she did get a 9.35, and if you watch the meet back and you're unfamiliar with gymnastics, you wouldn't quite understand what went wrong. She does a beautiful double wolf turn in her routine that she didn't quite get credit for, but this week it looked beautiful. Ended with a very strong tumbling pass there. Coach Polisiewicz should be very happy with that routine. Amazing start for Ohio State. They're looking to continue and build from that.
I was going to say, not much wrong with that.
No, not at all. Judges should be happy too.
Callie Schlottman goes second on the beam for Denver, the junior from Savage, Minnesota.
Started off with that full turn. Now doing her flight series, back handspring, layout, step out. Just a small bobble there. Again, that's straight legs and pointed toes though. Looking beautiful. Switch leap into a split 3/4 that jumps very hard, landing sideways on that 4-inch beam there. Executed it very well.
Specialist, her personal best, a 9.85 her freshman season.
Side aerial there. Done very well, no wobbles. She looks very confident. Back handspring into a gainer, full stuck landing. Denver should be very, very happy with those first two routines.
She fell on the beam last week, but most assuredly that score will skyrocket on the second performance of the season after
Yes.
the 9.225.
Looks relieved there. Looks like there's a bit of a judges conference happening again on the floor exercise.
Denver went 49-1-5 on the beam against San Jose State. And this is our third deliberation with the judges today.
You're hearing cheers from Denver. Must be a good score that's going to pop up for us here. Lindsey Brown starting off the night with the beam rotation with a 9.925. Those 9.9 plus scores are very, very hard to come by unless your routine is next to perfect. And I would say that she was as close to perfect as you could get.
$9.825 for Brown. Last week, she had the two individual titles in the all-around and the floor. She's already picked up two more individual titles today. And in the conversation with her beam score, in fact, that would be the third, and in essence cruising toward the all-around for the 17-time All-American.
She's had an incredible career at Denver. So for her to still step out and put her best foot forward every single meet and to put up 9.9s this early in the season is incredible.
Did you ever get to make any conversation with her when you guys competed back in 2018 or 2017? You didn't compete in 2018.
Right.
Did you get to know her through the years?
I did not, unfortunately, but I would love to get to know her now if I had the opportunity. She's down there dancing. Looks like she's having a good time. JoJo's been a staple in this floor lineup since she got to Columbus. She's very fun to watch. Very electrifying choreography here. Coach Polisiewicz puts a lot of time and effort into these routines, making sure that it fits the athlete as best it can so that you're prepared day in and day out to put your best foot forward. 2.5, punch front, small hop on the landing there, but that was beautifully executed. She had wonderful height in that 2.5. Switch half to a wolf full. Hard leaps to execute, but she did it beautifully.
Former walk-on, sophomore from just outside of Youngstown, competed 4 times on the floor her freshman season.
The crowd and her teammates are clapping along with her now, getting her amped up to finish this routine off strong. She's having fun, smiling here. Floor is the one rotation that you really get to see the athlete's personality. You see Coach Kolasiewicz in the background cheering her athletes on. Front double full, amazing turnover, clean landing. Very strong performance from JoJo. She left it all out there on the floor. She should be very happy with her performance.
JoJo Warga. That was the talk going into this week, wanting to nail the landings. But that artistic ability carries her through her second floor routine of the season.
Back to beam here.
Schlottman with a 9.775.
Back handspring layout, step out. Very clean. She wastes no time getting into a leap there.
Mabanta, who had a 9.85 on the floor for the Pioneers.
Switch half into a beautiful switch leap. Her legs extend past that 180 mark. That's incredibly difficult to do, to show that level of flexibility, especially on the beam.
$9.775 her opening week.
Dismount, back handspring into a 1.5. That was a very clean routine. Happened very fast. If you blink, you might miss it, but that was an incredible routine. Very little wrong. I'm not sure what the judges are going to take off, following in Lindsey Brown's footsteps here with a close to perfect routine.
All Big 12 on the beam for a reason. Bella Mabanta went 9-9 at the conference championships.
See that dismount there, that back handspring into 1.5. That 1.5 is a blind landing. Again, you have to trust your body to know where the ground is and that you are in the perfect spot to stick that landing. Denver having a great beam rotation.
They've had a great day here in Columbus. Jenna Levac. With a very promising freshman who took the floor in Arkansas with a 9.875. Meredith Kolasiewicz feels she's got a perfect 10 in her down the road.
I would agree. She's very powerful, concise with her movements. She knows what she wants and she's gonna go get it. She's gonna open this floor routine here with a beautiful piked full in. Little hop there on that landing, which unfortunately will be a deduction. But that is an incredibly difficult skill. An E-level skill. It's the hardest type of skill that you can do in gymnastics. 1.5 through the front layout. Beautiful landing. She is in control and she is having fun. Little Britney Spears here. Switch side.
Apparently there's an obsession with Britney amongst the freshman class.
I'm not mad about it, Neil.
Well, they were born right around the time of her ascent.
The height of her career. I remember listening to Britney Spears as a little girl. Still do.
When they call you by one name, you've had a pretty good career, right?
She's finishing her routine up here. The double back, beautiful stuck landing. She is a force to be reckoned with. And I believe that we've just started to see how strong she's really going to be of an athlete for Ohio State.
Levac wrapping up her day.
Next up on B for the Pioneers.
Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get to see her in the all-around one day. We're seeing her double back to land. Beautiful landing. Great way to end a floor routine.
She went 9.825 on the vault and a 9.8 on the bars. Back to the beam.
Hitch kick into a switch side. Executed wonderfully.
Alexandria Ruiz.
Our silent assassin. Back handspring, layout, step out. Clean landing. She kept it moving. Takes true confidence in your skills to keep moving out of your skills. Side aerial into a split jump.
.985 on vault.
Piked gainer, little hop there on the landing. I don't know what else to say, Neil. These athletes look very well in control. Coach must be happy with those routines.
Another all-arounder wrapping up her day.
I would say that that is a phenomenal all-around performance. Seeing Coach give her a big hug there, must be proud.
Platform exercise for Ohio State, Lexi Edwards.
3 fifth-year seniors, 1 true senior on this Denver roster.
Lexi Edwards on the floor here, again named one of the Big Ten gymnasts to watch. Double pike, amazing landing. You probably could have walked underneath her in that double pike there.
Aptly described. 9.85 for her against Arkansas.
1.5 front layout. Again, great landing. She just stayed in bounds there. It is very important to stay in bounds. That deduction is the difference between a 9.8 or a 9.9. Every 10th counts. Switch side into a straddle full. Showing the flexibility there with that split in the choreography.
Three times last season, 9.85 or better.
To average a high score like that means that you're putting your best foot forward every week. Your teammates can count on you. The coaches know what they're going to expect. She's having fun. Coach Paula Civic clapping in the background here. Huge double back stuck landing. Amazing routine by Lexi Edwards.
Putting a bow on it, the junior from Richmond, Virginia.
Her teammates are very excited for her. I definitely think she's another one of those athletes that has a 10-0 floor routine in there somewhere. I'll be patiently waiting to see that score pop up for her one day.
2 straight weeks of winning the vault individual title to begin her season. Lexi Edwards
Side
finishing
aerial.
strong on the floor.
Back layout, step out on beam here. Incredibly difficult flight series. Denver is known to have a high level of difficulty on this event, and we're seeing it on display today. Switch leap, connected. Hitting that 180 leap, again a requirement. Denver has a beautiful balance of artistry and power on this event.
This is the sophomore Thompson. Big beam title last year at BYU with a 9.95.
Side aerial full twisting layout to end her routine. She's fired up. That again was a close to perfect routine. Denver is really executing these routines quite well for it being so early in the season. You can definitely see why they scored so high in their last meet.
That is her strength. Junior Olympic national champ in that event. in 18. The Lucan Cup in 16, and Abby Thompson celebrating what's looking like a triumphant day for Denver.
She's definitely had some accomplishments under her belt leading up to this meet, leading up to college even. And seeing her as a collegiate athlete, you can tell that she's going to go far and definitely earn some more titles and accomplishment with her time at Denver.
Alexis Hankins.
This is a fun routine for the Buckeyes. I'm excited to watch. I did watch it last week against Arkansas. I'm excited to see it again. All three coaches for Ohio State put in a lot of time and effort making sure that these girls felt good and ready to go on this event.
Coming off that rousing beam performance, Ohio State high 9.825.
She's going to open this routine here with a beautiful tucked full in. A little step forward there. Definitely always want to step backwards, but again, the execution in the air was still good. Having fun here. It's important to have fun with these floor routines and love what you're doing. Front layout, front half split jump. Again, very difficult to connect leaps and jumps out of your tumbling. You have to control your body in ways that almost seems impossible, but she does it really very well. Those leaps have beautiful height, good execution on that 180 split. Again, another wolf turn we're seeing here, very difficult.
Saved her best for last year at the NCAA Regionals with a 9.9 on the floor.
Floor is a very hard event to score a 9.9 plus on because it is the event that you spend the most time actually competing. There's a lot more that goes into it than any other event, so a lot more for the judges to find errors with. But these Buckeyes are putting their best foot forward today and are doing a really good job. Amazing double back to end her routine. Stayed in bounds there. Good height, clean landing. I would agree that this has become one of their better events.
Flourishing on the beam and floor to wrap up her day, Alexis Hankins. Riley Mundell.
Back handspring layout, step out. Oh, little bobble there. It's definitely going to be more of a deduction than just a balance check. Her feet did come off the beam, but she didn't fall, so every 10th counts. She's definitely in control. Gonna look to be as perfect as possible. Switch leap, switch half. Seems to be a little off her game, but beam is a very difficult event. Still early in the season.
Yeah.
She's fighting for every 10th here.
That's a great point. The all-arounder who's usually exceptional has not been at her best today. Did have a 9.85 on the bars.
Round off 1.5, clean landing. She fought for every single landing there, and that's what's important in routines like this. It's early in the season. Now is when you get those balance checks, the bobbles, the wiggle wobbles out.
Just a sophomore from Parker, Colorado. So not too far outside of downtown Denver. And a lot to like about her future. Denver wrapping up their day in Columbus. Claire Gagliardi going to take us to the cinema to complete the day on the floor.
Yes, she is. Claire is the superstar floor anchor for them. Claire starting off her routine here with a front layout, front 1.5. Amazing landing. This is Claire's specialty. She brings excellence in every part of this floor routine. Her leaps, you're seeing that 180, controlled landing. Her tumbling is executed very well. Every time she does it, she hits the height. She's having fun. She's giving you facials, energy, a little jaws.
From Star Wars to sharks.
I'm not sure if she's looking for the shark or if she is the shark. Oh, we're running away from the shark. Swimming, I should say. Crowd is clapping her on here. Teammates in the corner, they're helping her get through this routine. Claire's asking for help from the audience, getting them involved here. Gonna finish her routine here with a double pike. Great landing, a little squatty there, but that's okay. Her chest was up. Amazing way to end this home opener for Ohio State. Way to go, Claire.
The senior from Hubbard cutting footloose to complete the floor for Ohio State and their fourth rotation. 9.85 last week. An exhibition for Denver. EY on the beam.
Saw her leap combination there early on. Her foot kind of hopped forward there, so I'd be interested to see if the judges are going to give her credit for that connection, which is a requirement. But again, this is an exhibition routine, so it doesn't count for the overall team score. Inside turn there, very difficult. Side aerial to a split jump. She looks very confident in herself. Side aerial, gainer full, dismount, stuck landing. It's a great exhibition for Denver.
Momoko EY, freshman who grew up in Dallas, Texas. Concluding the program. Denver getting used to life on the road. First of 3 meets away from Magnus at West Virginia next weekend, then at Oklahoma for a top 5 showdown.
Tough arena to step into, but I think they're ready for it. It didn't seem to faze them too much today being on the road.
Ella Hodges, a floor exhibition for Ohio State.
Elegant Ella, as they call her. I believe Ella did compete in the floor exercise last season for the Buckeyes. Beautiful double pike to open her routine. Clean landing. Ella's a very graceful athlete that her tumbling being so powerful can be surprising. Her composure as an athlete is also very refreshing.
She was 9.8 or better 4 times on the floor. You were referencing
these exhibition routines are very important for teams because you're only as strong as your backup. 1.5 front layout, a little loose legs there in her front layout, but ultimately a great routine for Ella in this exhibition spot. That's definitely a routine that she can be proud of, something to grow and learn from.
So Denver with a 1.966, not hitting the 1.97 of week one. Ohio State improving upon their score from Arkansas, 195-75, but Buckeyes will fall to 0-2, and Denver to 2-0. And Ohio State with Big Ten play at hand with Penn State here at the Covelli Center next weekend. Rutgers to follow.
Two very crucial meets for the Buckeyes coming up as they enter their conference play here for the season. This is a great way to start off their home opener, get the jiggles and the wiggles out now, and improve upon for next week as they did from their first meet to now.
The scores show that. What did you like about Ohio State's performance, knowing that Denver coming in with their stalwarts and veteran presence up front was going to be tough to take down?
I think Ohio State did a wonderful job in competing with Denver toe-to-toe, and it's very hard to do. It's easy to come in and feel like you're the underdog and to ignore the other team, but I think they used it to their advantage and tried to put their best foot forward, and they did that. They improved upon their score from last week, and they didn't shy away from the competition. You saw a different level of competitive nature in Ohio State today than you saw last week, and they look like they're going to be a team to be forced to be reckoned with in meets to come.
Some individual titles from Lexi Edwards today for Ohio State on the vault. Lindsey Brown, sensational again on floor, bars, and the all-around. And you see the final numbers from Columbus. Four-time All-Big Ten performer, Lexi Mattern, and another All-Big Ten performance here today. Great to work with you. Look forward to doing it again. I'm Neil Sika. We thank our great crew led by Marco Fragali here at the Covelli Center. We thank you for watching women's gymnastics on Big Ten Plus. Denver over Ohio State, 196-6 to 195-75. Have a good evening, everyone.